Welcome back, you lovely people.
Oh, we're here again.
Who doesn't love it when your favourite Finnish effects manufacturer sends you a little black box wrapped in cellophane
as well?
Is it like a fish or licorice or something?
The word neural on one side and nano cortex on the other. Must be August the 28th today, right?
Is it?
And I imagine
absolutely, yeah.
Your YouTube feed has been carpet bombed with nano quad cortex feed.
A well-kept secret, I'd say.
Well, apart from at the NAMM show where they had the gigantic 10-foot high letters soon. Yes, if you remember that controversy at NAMM where the neural stand just had the word soon written on it, it was because this is what they wanted to show you. But
was that what it was?
It wasn't ready.
Look at that.
You've seen this, right?
I have one.
You've got one.
I have one in my house.
Yeah, but he's special.
Nice and light.
It's nicely machined.
I like the way that they matched the... It's like a smaller version of the big one without a screen.
Well, that's why it's called the Nano Cortex.
So
the knobs feel really nice.
I was watching the beautiful John Connon doing the official neural
beautiful.
training demo on this, and I had a quick read of the spec. In a nutshell, and we are going to put this to the test shortly, including doing a capture. This device here can create captures or download captures from the neural cloud. There's no modeling in this, so that's one of the big differences between this and the big brother. So if you love the whole neural modeling thing, that's still exclusive to QC. This is just captures. Before the capture, at the moment, there are two blocks, one for a noise gate and one for a pitch shifter. Some of the pitch shifting John was doing, I'm guessing you'll know more about this, right?
So you can do octaves or you can literally tune down.
Yes, to retune your guitar, right?
Yeah.
So if you just need to play in E flat, and the latency was zero on,
in
on
blues,
the video.
as we know, you need that all the time.
All the time. That's why Rebeer's with us, because you use that feature on your QC all the time.
I do, yeah.
And it's in your plugin.
It is.
Post the capture block, and again, the capture can be just a pedal, just an amp. It can be an amp with a cab. It can be a pedal, an amp, and a cab. You know, but that's your one capture block. After that, you've got 3 more blocks. One for modulation, which I think is chorusy, right? One for reverb, and one for delay. And then that's it.
And it's got a ping pong.
You've obviously got your cab section as well, your IR.
I apologise. I apologise. So that's actually after the capture, isn't it? There's a block to load in IRs.
I just noticed on here it said you can use the power or USB-C compliant power source.
Wow, cool.
Yeah, if you got anything like that on your board, you're laughing.
So, how are we going to break this up, gentlemen? Should we do a capture first and then plug it in and try some of the preloaded captures?
I'm into that.
Well, obviously you can go on the cloud and there's something like 25,000 or more user captures that people have made, so you can just get anything you want.
So we plug it in and then go
into
should we plug it in?
Let's capture. Let's plug it in and capture. Oh, and we're going to capture Pete's deputy amplifier because I don't think we've ever tried to do that before, have we?
And then I might put it in my cloud and then people might be able to go and grab it from there.
And obviously it's all using the phone app.
Yeah.
So normally with normal Quad Cortex, the screen gives you the instructions on how to do it, how to wire everything up. Same thing applies, but all through the phone app. So.
Cool. Right, let's do this.
Do it.
So the setup seems pretty simple. The mic we've got on the cab, which by the way is a single SM57, is plugged in here. This orange connection is plugged to the input of the guitar amplifier. And then the two purple ones, one is Rebeer's input from the guitar and the other is going to our interface. So what you're hearing now as Rebeer plays is just the guitar, you know, basically using the mic straight into our interface. So we've gone very clean. Remember, we've turned the reverb off the amplifier. I don't think you can ever successfully capture an amplifier with reverb. And let's see, we've adjusted the input gain for the guitar. We've adjusted the output level for the interface.
Yeah.
And we are now going to press the button. Is it going to be loud?
Are we going to hold our ears? Hold our ears.
I'm doing it. Ready?
Yeah, go for it. Ah! Ah!
It just says neural capture in progress.
Wow!
Wow! Rabir's just rightly pointed out that once this is finished and we want to perhaps compare the head, the actual sound of the cab to the profiled sound, the captured sound, we haven't really got the right environment here to do that, because we're either going to hear the amplifier in the room through the speaker, or we're going to hear the
capture through the monitors.
So they're never going to sound identical in here. So you have a bit of have to have a little bit of poetic license here.
Yeah,
obviously,
that's fine. You can hear it up there.
If we just captured the head on its own into a load box, we would have been able to just toggle, wouldn't we?
But obviously, for all you on YouTube, you should be able to hear, because what you're hearing is the mic'd cab anyway. So
and
for us, it's different.
That's an expensive speaker, and there's an liquid gold speaker in that. So
great speaker.
Almost costs the same as this unit, right? I like the way that it turns, the look comes around like that.
Yeah,
like
you get an idea, don't you?
It's pulsating. I like pulsating.
It's interesting,
slick, isn't it?
It's a slower capture process than QC, isn't it? I'm sure QC captures faster.
I wouldn't say by much, to be honest, if anything.
Okay.
I'm not sure, you know. It's
usually
usually
the
tone X was
crazy,
long,
wasn't it? Yeah.
That takes about 2 hours if you're doing it properly.
It depends on which one.
I thought it was 24.
Oh, here we go.
There you go.
Next, right. So let's do that. So neural capture. What does it mean? Alternate off or?
It means it will automatically alternate between the source and the capture.
Oh, it's your testing,
so
but we don't really want to do that, do we?
No, so you just want to hear it.
Save to library?
Yeah.
Or save to slot? Save to library, and then we can.
And there's a slot. We'll then put it onto the.
Okay, so save to library. Perfect.
Okay, should we
now,
do?
Do you want to do another one?
Yeah,
we'll do it. We'll do an overdriven one whilst we're in the right mode. Sounds great. Okay, so
bless me.
We'll literally fast forward through all this, but yeah, we're going to do the same again.
Sounds good.
Cover your ears, gentlemen.
Wow.
Bizarrely, that second time round, it kind of started the capture straight away. It's almost like the processor was in the right mode for it.
Yeah,
anyway,
the right shape of mind. But I'll make sure that I put these on my profile on the cloud.
Yeah, that's the cool thing, is any user that has the cloud with public captures, you can just go and find one you like and chuck it on there.
For free.
For free.
Right. Literally, this is our dummy board. Compressor, overdrive, everything else happening in the Nano Cortex, and everything into our interface, so that's what you're hearing. Right, so these first 4 blocks are the ones that are already loaded in, right?
Those are your first 4 presets,
okay, so,
and then these are the elements of said preset.
Aha.
So you can go in and swap that. My neural captures go down, so we want clean with the 112Us. So that's loaded in there now.
Yeah.
And then, because we've captured it with a cab, I'm going to assume we'd need to take the cab off.
It's super intuitive.
So we want that off.
Yeah. You want a bit of reverb.
Take off the noise gate because it's a clean.
For the devil.
Noise gate is the devil's work.
Bit of delay and a bit
just a delay off first so we can hear what it sounds like before. I just want to hear if
and then save that. So that's preset 1.
So sorry, let me understand this. So the fact that it says Crunch 1 Simple.
Oh, you can rename it though.
So so it's the preset name isn't necessarily the profile that you've used. Got that? That's confused me a little bit.
Doesn't take much though.
No, it doesn't take much. But rename it, and then we'll just do Pete's clean and Pete's dirty. We all know that anyway. He's never clean. He's only dirty.
Oh no.
Pete is clean. I like it. And then if
it's super quick, isn't it?
Right. So then, and then we're going to go to
change the second one.
And then we want to go
Pete is dirty.
Choose our capture.
Pete's dirty.
Around this.
It's super
like
quick,
watching one of my children, use WhatsApp.
Take off the noise gate again.
Oh, maybe not.
Oh, right, maybe not take the noise gate off there.
That's interesting. We'll just, tiny
temper,
tiny amount.
Tiny Tempo. Didn't you play Download with Tiny Tempo? Or was that some other artist?
Another one. Snoop Dogg.
That was another guy.
Snoop Cock.
So then, Clean My Dreams, rename
Clean My Dreams?
Pete is Dirty.
Wow. Yeah.
It's right, DP Dirty, right? DP Clean, DP Dirty.
This is perfect. This is perfect.
So, how quick is this? This is all real time. It's so quick.
There you go.
So, and 1A and 1B is basically just doing that, right?
Look at that! So there's no reverb on it now?
No, so I can put some reverb on it now. And I go, no I don't. I go to Pete is clean and I hit it.
No, you just scroll down. That's it.
Yeah,
I do apologise.
On it goes.
Happy with that reverb?
Let's save that.
Save it.
Boom. So now let's save the patch. Oh!
That actually sounds good. Don't know why I'm surprised.
Can I just show something here? Because I noticed that when I'm turning that dial,
it's great, isn't it?
And the little things are going. I can always go like that, and the little things are going on there. And if I double click that, it goes right in the middle. So I want a bit more low end because I feel like.
That sounds good.
So this is what we say. If it's a good capture of something, this is what I always get with any of these products, whether it's Kempo, it's Cortex, or whatever it is. If the capture is good, if it's done well, it's going to sound good.
But I always thought to a certain extent you had to be at a level of professional expertise to be able to, but like,
I mean, if it was
anyone
up to
with
me,
an
I would have
SM57 could do that, right?
Yeah, they could. I mean, I would have moved the SM57 slightly off the centre, you know, because it's quite bright.
Yes, but see, I like the brightness.
I knew this would happen. But that's preferential. So let me just.
But let me save it again. Saying you could also run the Royer, the 57, into an interface, run it out of there in a stereo into a mono in there, and then put on some EQs and stuff in it. So
that's when you get more professional, isn't it? When your Michael Brits and everything are doing their profiles, they probably are doing that.
But when is this good?
It's like, well, that sounds good. Let's just.
I'm impressed, man. So
I can see it's almost like if you're less a massive fan of valve amps and stuff like that, every time this technology just does that little step forward, it's emotional, isn't it? Because there's part of you just having to accept that progress is inevitable, and then there's a little part of you just going, oh, no, nostalgic.
Let's recap here. Let me just recap. So we got, how much is this? 100 quid.
100 quid, maybe.
250 quid.
Yeah. 500 quid.
500 quid. You need a board with a power supply underneath it, which is another 300 quid. Then we're running into Genelix. This is running into Apollo 8P, X8P. Right?
And obviously you need a guitar.
And you need a guitar is a $3.5 grand custom Hanson guitar. I'm saying, everything put together, an amp and a cab, but this blows my mind that it sounds better, in my opinion, the capture we just did, than any of the captures, because I did have this up last night, just have a little fiddle. And the 4 presets that was in here, I think this sounds better than the 4.
Down to the user.
This is what I'm saying.
I do remember.
I think this sounds
the
great.
amazing get out of jail free card that Christoph Kemper always used to use with his Kemper. Now, which was that a Kemper can't sound bad, only the the profile that you made can
Yeah.
sound bad.
Yeah.
And it's a bit the same with this rig because there's no modelling in it, so it can't sound bad. Only
if you
the capture that you've done can sound bad.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting. It's a
But
great,
listen to this, man.
it does sound good, and the way it takes the pedal is Can I just say as well, when I first was going through the spec of this, it's like, oh, you've got one type of reverb, one type of delay. Your natural inclination when you use this sort of multi-effects all day long, it's a bit like, oh, you know, where am I? Oh, I'm used to having one with 50 different delays and 50 different reverbs. But actually, you do realise that as long as the reverb sounds good and the delay sounds fine, you do just need one of each, don't you? It's
Can I just point out, this is the board, which has cost an absolute fortune.
Yeah, I mean, fair play. That's
One delay with a tap tempo on it.
One delay.
Reverb, well, two reverbs.
Yeah.
One a bit big one and a bit small one. That's it. And a chorus here.
But obviously, you can save presets to have different amounts of that, so you can have an ambient pad. It's seamless preset switching as well.
Before we get, what you're saying is I can't.
Don't call me that.
Foot switch. I know I can scroll through different kinds of effects, but I can't. If I wanted essentially to just be able to have that sound and turn the delay on, is it actually two presets? Is it one preset without the delay and another preset with the delay?
Yeah,
but that's fine.
Or I use MIDI, presumably.
Oh, you can do that, yeah.
But that's fine, because then you'll have one here, and you click it again, there's one with delay on it. Over here is your lead, and then one with...
Well, look, we haven't heard the other...
we just have to do this.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, before we do that, can I just hold this down and show you? Oh, there's a tuner in there as well, look.
Yeah, the tuner, I must admit, it's amazing how much they've packed in.
Too high, too low, in the middle it flashes light and bright. There you go.
That's it. So when you're driving down the road in the middle of the night and somebody's doing this backy like that, don't stop. Anyway, right, sorry, I digress. Pete is dirty.
We're on Pete is dirty now.
I would say on the driven sounds, that's where I prefer the sound of a cab in a room to the
because obviously you're hearing back
a little bit more trebly, doesn't it? That's not to say that isn't an excellent capture. I'm just saying it's what we're now hearing.
That's because you're hearing the capture of the 57 where it is with an overdriven sound.
It's right in the middle.
Of course.
It's right in the middle, which is why it's so intense. Yeah.
So but I've taken that down now. So you are, as you say, if you had an IR you used and you loved, you can just put that in there instead.
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
And the IR portion of the app is very cool, the way it works too.
Yeah. And you can load all your own ones in and all stuff.
But that's what I would say, particularly on overdriven sounds, is it's almost more flexible doing it that way, unless you know exactly where on your cab you want the microphone to get your overdrive sound.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a middle kind of guy with everything, but also I'm the, I would use a Royal 121 in the middle, and then the other one slightly off, so you get because that gives that low end Royer that the 57 is always really top endy, but together those two things are incredible.
Can I just hear Pete? Because I'm so familiar hearing Pete playing this amplifier.
Well,
it's like, and and also as well, it's a feel thing's important here as well, isn't it? So I'm interested to know if you think it feels.
I don't think we saved it before. With
I think if that was the gig, you'd be happy, right?
I would be absolutely happy because it would be in my ears. It would sound great. I think the difference is it's not a 112 cabinet that's behind me with the air.
Yeah.
But other than that.
We haven't even shown the modulation yet. I know we don't use
put on.
modulation a lot, but let's... I don't know what the different modes are on here, but I mean, it sounds like, sounds like a good chorus,
yeah,
right? It's like what?
Get the old
Can I just say, I don't know if you might see this little blue line at the top of the app saying a firmware update is available. It does appear to be
it is updated.
a firmware bug on this at the moment, because this is the latest bug. I'm sure by the time this comes out,
still in test flight.
This is the test flight.
Right. Ignore that. We are on the latest update.
Dirty. And that is loud, isn't it?
We need to save that a bit lower. Yes.
I think I just worked out that you have to hold it, and then it goes flick across the screen.
I don't know if this might be worth giving the guitar. No, I'm going to leave it with you, Pete. I want to know, the next song is a Hendrix cover, and it's to a backing track. We need to play an E flat. So, am I... oh, I see. So we can go up, down, whatever here.
I mean, it does a good job. I have to say, it's good, but it's still...
Wouldn't go to whole tones down, though,
I'm just thinking using it as a baritone.
I mean, particularly when you're on a more gainy tone, it's less noticeable. The artifacts is going to come out more on cleans.
But it's fun. Sounds like when we're doing the capture.
Could you go as 12? Can you make it like a bait if you were doing a loop or something like that?
Yeah, you could do.
I know what you mean. I mean, the further you go from
from the truth.
You haven't complained once about the noise gate being on either.
No, it's the high gain thing, isn't it? Exactly.
And I mean, what else is there to obviously we've focused very much on making our own capture. I think it's safe to say you can see we've been really impressed.
Particularly just chucking the mic on and doing a quick capture.
Am I right in saying if you click there, you get lots of where you can make your own presets.
Yeah.
And then presets that are in there already. So, you know.
So let's show me on here then.
Show me the money.
How I might you go and find one of your favourite sounds that's maybe a separate.
You can load one of yours in there
and a with an IR I don't, because I think we won't go crazy long, otherwise this video is going to end up too long. I think I suppose again it's like, it's 500 quid or just over 500 quid. So it's clearly going to massively appeal to all those people that have been going, I really want a quad cortex, but I just can't afford one. But I think it opens it up beyond that, doesn't it? It's like, it is almost its own, because for me, quad cortex would be overkill if all I wanted to do was profile my amplifier and go out and have a drive and a compressor in front of it.
Absolutely.
But I mean, this again, I suppose, in all fairness, you know, the format reminds me a little bit of Tonex, but I just think I like that it because you're not using amplitude and all that kind of stuff. It feels a bit
easier
more
to
pro
use.
and easy to use. Doesn't feel quite so like a sort of a plug-in kind of vibe.
Yeah.
But
right, I've gone to...
I mean, this would be exactly...
It's way simpler to profile on this.
It's exactly how I would
Tonex,
use a product like this, whether it be the Kemper or the Tonex, whatever. I would use this. I would profile my own amps that I wanted to use on the tour but couldn't because the sound guy's a dickhead and I had to use in-ears, right? And they're not all dickheads. There's lots of nice ones out there, but they insist that the drums is okay, but the guitar can't have a cabinet on stage, which I'd never understand and never will, and I'll die on that hill. But if I had to use that, I would definitely capture my own amps, give the sound guy that, maybe run some of my modulation and delays effects on this side, 3 or 4 overdrive on that side, and I'll be happy. Yeah.
Again, I know, I'm sure there'll be comments around the fact it's got no effects loop, but I don't know that really matters because fundamentally, all you've really got to do with this is put your pre-gain drives this side, your post-drive stuff this side, and that's sort of it, really. I don't think it really matters. I mean, if you're really worried about that sort of dry-wet mix, there are products from Gigwig and Walrus and stuff that'll sort of give you that effects loop type mix.
Try that.
Are you buying stuff on
No,
on
this
my
is,
Amazon
this
account?
is... That's the capture that I made. Yeah, that's an old one that I made. Straight crunchy.
You're good at it. But again, the sound is only as good as the capture, right?
We need to do some product comparisons, don't we?
I mean,
the specification wise, it's quite easy to see the difference between this and the Kemper Player and Tonex One and all that kind of stuff. But I guess we probably need to get into the weeds. But I love the size of this, and yeah, I think that's a super bit of kit. Really small. Yep. I love the fact that you guys so quickly just started using the EQ like you would on an amp.
I mean, it's super because it's got the same. We didn't even talk about that. So you got the same dials here. So let's say you get the Rabear's capture. You can on this side you got the captures. If you have amp only captured, and over here's the IRs. So you can switch between the amps here by turning that knob and all completely off, right? So boom, 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 5, and then off, and then the same over here. You can go IR off or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you got all these different captures on there.
So once you know what your amps and cabs and effects are that are in here, you don't really need to use the phone anymore, do you?
No,
yeah, but there are things in the pedal settings as well that are really, really handy. So like you can do 4 presets mode instead of 2. So it changes the functionality of the other foot switch, so you can sift between 1, 2, 3, 4, like they're on and off state. You can also do the way that the knobs catch like I forget what the explanation is, but there's a way that one mode is you have to turn it all the way up and down or something to catch the setting. You can turn that on and off, and then obviously you can do all your MIDI stuff inside there as well.
I thought about that MIDI.
Yeah, MIDI.
Course. You could really.
I mean, MIDI used to stick that underneath the board with 2 outputs somewhere on a.
I've got another capture.
Yeah, do it. Let's play another one. So these are all ones with separate amps.
These are all ones I've downloaded off my profile that are with cabs.
Right.
So bear with me 1 second.
That's a good old.
Do you want to do a?
Nice.
We could do. We've got an SLO. I downloaded the Kraken Gain 1. Let's do that.
Want a Les Paul for that?
Or we can do
Apollos. That's spiky as well, isn't it?
Deputy sounds better.
Sounds better. But I'd rather have twin sisters
What
to be
about-
honest than a deputy. It's more fun.
try that.
Deputy's better.
That's a Mesa Barber.
Yeah.
And then I've got.
But then again, we're up to the capture, and you make the capture, and also if I think it sounds good, it doesn't
This is an
necessarily
SLO
mean
100. That's my Kraken.
It still sounds. That's my Kraken.
I think we're done, right?
I think we're done.
I mean,
You know how it sounds. It's going to sound as good as the Quad Cortex, the end, or the big brother. So there we are. But this is super simple. I like it.
Yeah.
Picasso.
No, it's a win, isn't it? It's going to be a hugely popular product.
Somebody just play out.
Yes, absolutely. Come on, Roberto. It's your last video of the day. Thank you so much for coming up today.
No worries.
I love.